Hi, on the line with me is Jen Kuznicki. Jen, I hope I pronounced your name correctly, but you're very popular with Mark Levin, of all people.
Yes, I'm blessed to have him as a good friend.
Yeah, and that is very cool. I think a lot of people find out about your news stories and your blog by his connections that he has on social media, and he's probably mentioned you a couple of times on his radio show. I wanted to talk a little bit about the one blog post that you wrote about legalization of marijuana in Colorado with what's going on in Colorado. Your article that you wrote was Big Government influence on Colorado, and I was hoping you could talk a little bit about that. What is happening in Colorado with the prices, and why are they going up?
Well, my post dealt with that first day of the legalization, and what they had found was basically supply and demand had kicked them in the butt. They had taken the supply that was for medical marijuana in order to sell marijuana that first day in order to meet demand. Everybody was buying everything, and so what they did when they did that, and some of the places had run out of pot. So there they were next day. Here we don't have any, or not any, but a small amount then of medical marijuana for people who use it medically and have, I don't know what they have in Colorado. In Michigan, they have cards where they get approved by a doctor. They have a medical marijuana card, and they're okay to be able to use a little bit, whatever for their medical needs. But then the next day they were running so low that then the supply had gone down. Demand then was still the same for the medical marijuana users, and the price went way sky high. So here it is. Government decides to legalize something that was typically illegal. Demand went sky high, probably from people, so excited and scared they were going to take it away. Went out there and got as much as they possibly could, and actually ended up screwing over the people who had legitimate need for it.
And the myth that is out there from the Libertarian movement, where they say that, if the government regulates marijuana, then this will put the cartels out of business. I mean, this sets up the perfect scenario for them, where the prices are so high because of demand. They're able to sell it real cheap, and they have their own black market. They're able to establish it. So, that myth is out the window. Government has just made it worse.
Exactly. The people who say that they're libertarians and they're all for the legalization of pot are not libertarians at all. They're just inexperienced. A lot of them are young, inexperienced types who just think, hey, legalize pot and everything will be fine. And some of them are just old potheads who think everything is just fine, just go ahead. You cannot legalize something like marijuana when, and this is my view of it, first of all. You can't legalize something like marijuana when unemployment is sky high, especially for youngsters. People from age 16 to age 22 are out of work, but the people graduating from college are out of work. This sets up a very bad thing for society. That, and plus, don't forget, once the government has a new product to profit off of, it's going to, and it's going to do it, for the safety of all. So they see, just for an example, a couple of days ago I saw a report out of Colorado that 5 times now a high, well, I don't know if all of them were high, but a guy smoking pot had run right into a state police vehicle. And it's not the first time it happened in the past few weeks. So So there they have the police. Now we have a situation. Well, we have to protect the goods. Well, in government, that means tax and regulated the crap out of it, just like they have smoking cigarettes and stuff like that. This is all ridiculous, and it's not a libertarian argument at all.
You know, one of the things that you bring up in your article that's true, and I believe that in order for legalization to pass, you need a lot of greedy, dirty politicians to make it happen. And you mentioned that politicians, they can't wait to tax this. No matter where it falls, they're there to capitalize on it in one way or another. What kind of fixes do you see happening with politicians getting their grubby little fingers involved in this?
Well, the funny thing is, it's not just the politicians. If you go and you kind of sort of read through some of the marijuana movement, some of their articles and stuff on the website, they were pushing this on government as saying, guys, legalize it and you'll be able to tax it. Look at this. That's terrific for you. They were pushing it that way. That's not a libertarian argument, but yet they're still, the people are still pushing for that. What do I see happening? Well, it's already happening, and I can see here in Michigan, just as an example. Now, we have medical marijuana in Michigan, and right now, their small growers are able to be called caretakers. They are then able to distribute and have clients. What they're doing in Michigan is, well, it's all contingent on the federal government changing the scheduling of marijuana from an A to a B or a 1 or a 2, however they schedule it. But they're loosening the standards. And my guess is Michigan's quite progressive, and even though they're all Republicans, they're quite progressive, so they got, the hint that the federal government's willing to do this. And so what they did was they put a bill through saying that if the government goes ahead and does that and changes the scheduling of this drug and loosens the standards, we're going to make sure that you can get marijuana only through pharmacies. And they say, no, it's not, as soon as you argue it, they say, no, it's not just through pharmacies. The people who are selling it now can go ahead and keep selling it. Yeah, if they become pharmacists. So it's just these things, it's constant centralization of control, constant, big government, big pharma, not that I'm not against pharmaceuticals. I'm not against medical marijuana. I'm just against the centralization of power, and it's all then, moved around, tweaked and everything for politicians. And, politicians always like to grab their microphone. They can't wait to get in there and change things in order to please this group or that group. So it's just setting up another bunch of willing dupes.
Appreciate you stopping by. And how can people learn more about you and your articles?
Oh, thanks. Yes, I have my own website. It's JenKuznicki.com, JenKuznicki.com. And I'm also a columnist. I appear at CNS News.
All right. Thank you so much for stopping by.